Hi, welcome to day 11. It's Thursday, the 27th. Tomorrow is our exam. So today we started class with a little bit of team practice on 2 gizmos. Those gizmos are linked in your Google Classroom class materials for week 3. So if you'd like to practice those independently, they are there for you. After we did our practice, I had students turn in their TNG packets right on the demo desk, and I'll be getting those graded as quickly as possible. And then we started with an Ed puzzle. An Ed puzzle is a video that has embedded checks for understanding, questions embedded into the video. So students will need to go into Google Classroom and look at their experimental design scientific method Ed puzzle. You'll have one good shot at this, go slow and carefully, and then a grade will be generated at the end of your first try. If you get a 70% or higher, then that will work for your completion grade. If you do not reach 70%, if you get a 69.5% or lower, you'll need to send me an email or ask me during class time to reset your Ed puzzle. And then I will get rid of your first score and you can do it again. I will check the emails for requests to reset the Ed puzzle until 5 o'clock today. After 5 o'clock, I don't check email. So go ahead and send me your requests if you do need a second try on the Ed puzzle. When you're done with that, we're then going to go back into our Google Classroom and look at 2 short, well, one is very short reading assignment and one's a little bit longer reading assignment. And they're both from our electronic textbook, and you will see them. Let me see if I can show you very quickly what that looks like. So I'm opening up Google Classroom, and we're going to go into the classwork tab, of course. And what I'm talking about is here in week 3, you're going to look for day 10 or 11. This was published yesterday in case students wanted to get started on it a little bit early. But today is the day that I'm going to give you class time to work on it. You're going to create a page in your notebook that captures the 5 or 6 characteristics all living things share. And so we're going to start that work here with this first short little task, characteristics of life. When you open this up, you're going to do a little drag and drop on this side so that you can practice what is living and what is not. They'll give you a tree, which is living, and then a table, which is totally not living. And you're going to grab each of these items. For the example, grows and develops. That's something that non-living things do not do. A table is not going to grow or develop over time on its own, but a tree will grow and develop. So you drop it off and you try and place all of these in the appropriate spot. Then you check to see how you did. And when you've got that correct, you'll come over and try 4 of the 5 challenge me questions. I say 4 of the 5 because question 5 out of 5 is not actually a question. It's an opportunity to talk with a larger group of peers. And we won't be doing that as we do not have access to that. So students should try these 5 or these 4 questions. And when they're done, go ahead and close out this window and click on their assignment turned in. That's the first part. The second part is a reading. And this is when we're going to go ahead and open up our notebooks and fill out our beginning page 13. So page 13 has got a nice set of instructions. You're going to build some type of graphic that will capture and show you the 5 or 6 characteristics of life. I say 5 or 6 because depending upon what you're looking at, you'll see 2 different ways of phrasing or describing the things that all living things have in common. So your instructions are to use the classroom talk and the CK12 readings to build a 1-pager filled with the 5 or 6 or 7 characteristics all living things share. It's required for you to have text, it's required that you have an image, and it's required that you have an example. And maybe the actual image is your example, but we're looking for graphics that help you connect to the ideas. So then I gave students my version, or the beginning of my version. This has 5 characteristics of life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one's kind of connected. If you want to call number 6 independent, then you can and make that the 6th. But they all are what living things have in common. Then you're going to use the reading and our 5-finger kind of hand jive that I taught you in class to fill in information about what that means to be made of one or more cells, or what that means to reproduce. What does that mean for grow and develop, or use and manipulate energy? What does it mean to maintain homeostasis? And those topics, those additional pieces, are going to come from your reading. And then you have to include a little bit of graphic for each of these images. So back to the reading assignment. I'll close the biology notebook. This first little one is a very short one. I'll give you some phrases and some basic ideas. And then this is a little bit longer reading assignment. It has text that you'll read as well as a video that you'll watch. And this is where your information comes from. It will take a couple moments for me to show you this because it's very slow to load. Almost there. Here we go. So at the top it says characteristics of life, which is our topic. And then as you look through, you'll see a little bit of a description, and then you'll see a list. Please make certain that you don't just simply write these 6 items down on your paper and leave it at that. That will not earn you any credit for this task. So you can use this as a guide. Maybe these are going to be your 6 topics you would address. However, each one needs a reading passage and some details. So you'll read a little bit, write a little bit, read a little bit, and write a little bit. You get all the way down to the bottom, and you'll find that there's a summary video. So go ahead, watch that video, add some of those details to your notes, and then you'll need to do the practice. The practice is down here, and when you've completed the practice, it will show you a trophy, and you will then have to come back to this page, and instead of where mine says assign, yours will say turn in. You'll need to click that in. Then you'll see that you'll get a score in your Google Classroom. So again, let's get rid of this and go back to our agenda. You're doing your Ed puzzle first. That's on the overall scientific method. And then you're going to build a 1-pager in your notebook on page 13 that captures the 5, 6, or 7 characteristics all living things share. I'd like you to use your textbook in CK12 posted in Google Classroom for that information. That page 13 is due before your test tomorrow morning. Thank you. If you have any questions, always email me. Have a great rest of your day.